In the last video, we looked at points, rays, line segments, and lines. We learned the definitions of each of these, and then we also learned how to diagram, label, and name them. And then for rays, line segments, and lines, we learned that to name any of these using points, each given figure needs to have at least 2 points on it. And then we learned the proper naming conventions for each different type of figure. In this video, we're going to go over how things may or may not change when we have more than 2 points on a line, ray, or line segment. So we're going to look at these examples here, which each has 4 points on it. And then we'll start with a line, and then you'll notice for the line, we also have our additional label that we mentioned before. So lines can also be labeled and named with a lowercase letter that's on its own, and it's typically in cursive. So this doesn't apply to rays or line segments. Those don't have that standalone label, only lines do. And then if we want to name a line using points on it, we can use any 2 points on the line, and the order doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and list all the different ways that we could list this example that we have here of a line. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So we could do HI or IH. And then HJ or JH. And then HK or KH. Then I'll move along to IJ or JI. And then IK or KI, and then JK or KJ, and then we can also use that lowercase cursive letter, so that L, and then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different ways that this line can be named. All of them are valid ways to name the line. So just keep that in mind. If you see a line in a problem, there are a variety of ways that it can be named in text, and a variety of ways that you may name things when you're working on a problem as well. All right, let's move on to rays. And rays have stricter naming rules than lines. So for a ray, you always need to start with the endpoint, and then you pick any other point in the line, on the ray that goes towards the arrow, so that qualifies as any other point on it. So in our case, we always need to start with the W and then pick any other point as our second point. So WX is a valid option. WY is a valid option. And WZ is a valid option. So we always start with that W, and you can follow that along with the symbol, so the starting point of the symbol, and then you go towards the arrowhead, so then you pick a point that's moving towards the arrowhead. Occasionally, like very rarely, I've seen situations where it's written something like this, where the arrow is going in the opposite direction, and then the letters are reversed, so the letters would fall to where they fall on the ray. So the X is towards the arrow, and the W is the starting point. So you'd have it like that. I would not do that unless one of your instructors says they approve it this way. This is the normal way and convention of doing it, no matter what way your ray is pointing, whether it's pointing this way, up and down, or a diagonal. Go ahead and box this off, and then we'll move on to line segments. So for the line segment, you'll notice that there's some color coding there, and that is because you need to be very careful with line segments, because any 2 points on something like this that has multiple points on it, any 2 points refers to a unique line segment. So AB is one line segment, or BA, because when you do line segments, you can reverse the letters as well. So AB and BA is fine, but either of those refers to just this portion. BC refers to just this blue area portion. CD refers to just the red portion. But then you could also do something where you do letters that are further apart. So like AD would revert to the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it out here, and then I'm going to kind of show which colors go with each different name. So each of these is unique. So AB or BA refers to just the yellow portion. BC or CB refers to the blue. And then CD or DC refers to the red. And then we can do a little bit of the combining. So AC or CA, sorry, I wrote over there, or CA is going to refer to yellow and blue. And then AD or DA will refer to the whole thing, so the yellow, blue, and red. So yellow plus blue plus red. And then BD or DB will refer to the blue plus the red. So I think I got all the different combinations that we could get there. So key thing for line segments when you're working on a problem, make sure you're looking at the right portion of that line segment if there's multiple points on it, and make sure if you're working with the length, you're pulling out the correct length, things like that. So I think from the last video and this video, we've covered everything you would need to know to properly name points, lines, rays, and line segments. In the next video, we're going to focus on making sure we're comfortable with the definition of a line in geometry. So we're going to look at several different figures and determine whether they fit into that definition or not.